If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Adam Fossett, the head football coach and athletic director at B.B. Comer, joins us this morning, brought to you by the B.B. Comer Athletic Booster Club. And Coach, good morning to you. Big win last week.
Yes, sir. Yeah, big win for us. Went to Glencoe and started slow, but put up 22 points in the second quarter. Came out in the second half, put up 18 more, and win 40-0. So,
talk about the success that you saw and effort and some of the players that played well.
Well, first and foremost, right now, Brian Bradford is playing lights out. Brian's a senior for us. He's played all through his years before we got there. He played last year, and
well, he's been through the wars, hasn't he?
He has. He's been through it. He's our leading tackler right now. He really changed the game for us last week on a Glencoe was punting. It was a bad snap, so the punter takes off, and he comes up and makes a tackle. It was a very loud, very, very violent tackle. So that woke everybody else up and got everybody else going too. So, but he's playing lights out. Our quarterback play is gotten a ton better since week one. Devontae Carmichael's doing a good job there with us, and we're developing into an all-around team offensively, and we're able to throw the ball, we're able to run the ball. So we're not just seeing teams stack 8-9 in the box anymore and come after us. So they've got to respect the passing game.
Glencoe had not scored a point coming into this game, and B.B. Comer's defense made sure that stood.
Yes, yeah. Defensively, we played well. First shutout for our defense since we've been here. So hats off to Coach Watts and the defensive staff and those guys for getting us prepared. So a lot of guys playing well. You know, we've got, even at the end of the day, you look at the stat line. We had an 8th grader in Chris Wilson who had 6 tackles, a sack, and a tackle for a loss. Wow. You know, as an 8th grader. So,
not bad, huh?
Yeah, not bad for him.
That's not bad for a senior.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's not bad that's a good stat line for a defensive lineman for sure. So, and then Kamor Harris is another 8th grader that had a good game, and Kamor actually started on offense for me at the Y position. And later on, as the game progressed, he got some carries at fullback and scored a touchdown for us. So a lot of young kids still in that mix, a lot of young kids rotating in and out of that and getting some quality snaps.
What does this do for a B.B. Comer football team that hadn't had a lot of success in the last 8 to 10 years?
Well, you know, being able to be consistent and just kind of building as a unit has helped a ton. And having the young guys playing now is going to pay dividends next year and the following year and the following year. So, you know, we're very fortunate right now that our entire football program is we're under one roof. So from the time you're playing flag football at 5 years old until you can play high school ball or JV football at 12, it's all under the same roof. You know, on Mondays, Tuesdays, and some Thursdays, at some point in time, there's a varsity's practicing, pee-wee's practicing, and youth's practicing all on the same field. And the youth and pee-wee guys are using some of the same terminologies we're using some of the same, you know, words that we're using. And that carries over into high school ball. And when they get to us as JV players, they already know some of the basic terms, you know, and that we're just building a program, and that's the key. That's what I talked to the youth coaches about. You know, we brought them in and clinicked with them and talked to them and just showed them some stuff, and that was a big thing, and they were open to that and have accepted the challenge, and they've done a good job. So they actually open up tonight. Pee Wee and youth play tonight, and our flag teams play tonight. So it's a big week for.
Do you watch that? Do you get to watch some of those?
I do. I watch it. I watch it for 2 reasons. One, I have 2 sons that play, so you know, I'm invested there and want to see, you know, are they developing into football players or not, you know, and the other is that's the future of the program. You know, that's the future of Comer, and I have I'm going to be here. I'm not, you know, I think we've talked about it. I know I've talked to other media outlets about it. You know, my youngest son's 8 years old, and we've been there and done that. You know what I mean? So we're here to stay, and we want to be here and build that program. We want to be, you know, we want to look at year 2 and say, man, year 2 is a great building block for year 3 and year 4 and things like that, because there are happier days to come. You know, right now we're playing with some confidence. We're playing better than we played last year, putting up more points than we did last year. So there's an improvement there. There's a progression in place. 40-0, B.B. Comer shuts out Glencoe last Friday night. Different animal in town with Randolph County tomorrow night at Legion Stadium. Yes, yeah, no doubt. So Randolph County loses to Piedmont last year in the semifinals to play for a state championship. Randolph County is a very tradition-rich program. You know, they've got successful teams, but they're playing some guys that are a little bit younger. But overall, he has a lot more returners. I think he has 11 seniors that'll play. So just the depth that they have is a concern. You know, I've told our guys all week that this will be the most physical test we've had all week. So physically, we've got to be ready. Mentally, we've got to be ready. And just explaining, trying to get our guys to understand that, and it's not a knock on Glencoe, but Randolph County and Glencoe are two different teams. You know, they're two different animals. So I feel really good about our game plan. We've had a good week of practice. Practices seem to be getting better and better as we progress, and as we kind of explain. We have to explain. You know, look, practice is supposed to be hard, so the games are easy. So and with the way our schedule's set up, our JV plays on Tuesdays, so half our team leaves on Tuesdays to go play ball. So we almost miss a day we do miss a day with some of those guys, but we're very thin on Tuesdays and can't get quite as much done. So that's a real mental day for us. And then today, or Wednesday, Wednesday is a big physical day. So I base a lot of how we're going to perform on Wednesday's practice. Yesterday's practice was pretty good, pretty spirited practice, and got after it. So that's an indicator for me as to where we're going to be.
One thing that I know that I've heard you talk about this before is building this football program, getting that depth that is so necessary. And B.B. Comer hadn't had that in a number of years. Right. Yeah, we haven't had the depth hasn't been there, and we've got some guys there, and that's kind of the push now is we've got some guys that could help us out, and you know, trying to tell them, look, it's right here for the taking. You know, you could get some quality snaps. You could get some, you know, you need to be uncomfortable with where you're at and work to get to that spot. So, and we've got some guys that are kind of stuck in slow motion that I really want them, that they can do better, and they've got more in them. But they've got to be able to kind of take the bull by the horn, so to speak, and get better. So we're a few plays away from having to play some of those kids, and even if we don't have to play them due to an injury, and they just stepped up and played, then we can start resting some other kids. We start spot resting some kids. So. Coach Adam Fossett, the head football coach and athletic director at B.B. Comer. The Tigers take on Randolph County with a 7 o'clock kick tomorrow night here at Legion Stadium. 3 top 10 teams in the region, and you know, we've said this many times, one of the toughest regions, if not the toughest region in Alabama, but you got to play the game. That's right, yeah, you got to line up and play, and you know, the big thing in high school football this year is it's a reclassification year. So sometime between Thanksgiving and Christmas, they'll bring out the new regions and all that other stuff and the numbers. And it's funny because every week I talk to the coach that we're playing. So, and every week the conversation has been, what are your numbers? Well, our numbers are around this, or what are your numbers? Or so everybody's trying to figure out where everybody's going to end up. You know, I'm confident that we will have a different region next year. You know, do you have any say-so in that at all? None at all. Yeah. None at all. It's all about the enrollment count, and that number is sent to the State Department. The state starts at the very top,
and they get 7A, and then it's 6A, and then it comes down. So the breaking number is different every year, as far as where does 2A stop and 3A start and things like that. But it's consistent as far as the numbers.
Yeah.
So, but it's deciding the regions and all that other stuff is a task that I wouldn't want. I know we gripe as coaches sometimes, how in the world do we end up in this region and so forth and so on. But the AHSA has a tough job in making those decisions and figuring out who's north, who's south, who's in Region 1, Region 4, so forth and so on. So that's a tough task.
B.B. Comer 1-2 overall, 1-1 in region play, and Randolph County 2-1, 1-1 in region play. Some of the things that you've looked at on tape that concern you about Randolph County, and how you can possibly attack their weaknesses, if there are any.
Yeah, offensively, they run the ball hard. They have a fullback that runs hard. He gets north and south quick. So interior wise, we're going to have to make sure that we don't get blown off the ball. So and that's where a lot of our younger guys are, is in that interior. So kind of telling them all week, you've got to maintain your ground. You can't get blown into the linebacker. So. Let linebackers make plays. You control your gap and let the linebackers make the plays. Defensively, they're very stingy. They don't give up a lot of points. They run a lot of games on the outside edges. So we've worked on that this week and tried to make sure that we're prepared for that. It's the toughest thing in high school sports is to simulate another team. So we get film, we get their past 2 games, they get our past 2 games. And we break it down and figure out some tendencies, figure out what they do on this, what they do to this formation, so forth and so on. Defensively, we come up with scout cards and we try to run plays that they run and stuff like that. But if it's not our stuff, it's not what we've been running, it's not our defense, it's not our offense, it's tough to hold a card up and say, all right, you do this, and it be 100% perfect.
Yeah.
Effort's there. Our scout teams do a good job. The effort's there, but Randolph County does some stuff offensively that we've never done. Yeah. So it's tough to simulate that.
Randolph County actually led Piedmont by 2 scores.
They did.
And Piedmont, one of those top 10 3A teams as well. So you'll have your hands full tomorrow night, but we need some folks to be out there to support the Tigers in the stands.
Yeah, no doubt. Looking for a big crowd again. The first home game, we've started. I mentioned to a parent that, hey, it'd be cool if there was a kind of a tailgate, if y'all tailgated before the game. And the bus pulled up and there's tents everywhere and people everywhere, and had a little Tiger walk into the locker room, and they told me, they said, we're going to do it again this week. And I was like, all right, I'm fine with that. So I got a diagram that showed all these tents, and there's going to be more people this week than the previous week. So just that whole aspect of it of bringing all these people together and for them to be able to fellowship with each other and hang out with each other and then go in and support the guys and stuff like that. And it's a motivation factor. The guys love that stuff. Yeah. So and we've got faculty and staff appreciation this week. So the faculty's they're going to have a tailgate tent out there too, and it's a great opportunity for the parents and teachers to mingle and just kind of talk to each other. And it's a great opportunity for our athletes to see our teachers outside of the classroom and to see them and things like that. So there's always a big picture. There's always more to it than just lining up and playing ball. And it's important that we build. When we talk about building the program, it's every aspect of the program. It's the community, it's the fans, it's the student body, things like that. So student body, the student section, the jungle is they're pretty good most nights, and they do a good job. So.
B.B. Comer, head football coach and athletic director Adam Fossett joins us this morning. The Tigers host Randolph County, kick tomorrow night at 7 p.m. The Coach Adam Fossett Show brought to you by the B.B. Comer Alumni Boosters Club and Athletic Boosters Club. And Coach, I know you want to send a shout out to those folks. They do a great job.
Yeah, they do a great job for us. Both groups, the Alumni Association and the All Sports Boosters, are extremely supportive. To see Bradford's oversees the All Sports Boosters. And,
she's on it, isn't she?
Oh yeah, she's on it. She keeps me straight. So, but she does a good job, and Randy Kane and Biddy Burton, they kind of oversee the alumni group and do a good job with that. And the alumni meets once a month, and the first Thursday of every month. And I try to go to as many meetings as I can. Ironically, football season is when I miss the most because it's so busy. But just the stories and just hearing those guys talk about different things and when they played and just growing up around here and being able to see them fellowship after years and years and years, it's a pretty neat thing to see. Yeah. It's something that you want to be a part of now and when you get to be that age.
The B.B. Comer Athletic Booster Club, they sponsor the Coach Adam Fossett Show every Thursday morning here on Daybreak Live. Thanks, Coach, and good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you. Appreciate
More Daybreak in just a minute.